No, you're not turned up. There you go. Now, sorry, your
All
mic
right,
your mic wasn't turned up.
ready to go. Let me see.
How about now?
Do karaoke.
Any better?
I'm gonna sing us in.
No?
All right, let's do this real quick.
Okay.
Computer. Uh-oh. And Rebecca went. And I've got a post-it note joining us.
I need to get this other one out of the studio. Okay, I think that was actually taking up a lot of the memory, and we are live. So, Rebecca, did you get kicked out?
Yeah.
Oh, she's.
I still can't hear your sound either.
You still can't hear me? I just tested my mic. That's strange.
Give it a couple minutes. We have 3 live, 3 on. Hey, Victoria. Thanks for joining us.
Is that any better?
Oh, you.
Yep.
All right. It is 11:04 a.m. Today's date is March 10th, 2022. And I wanted to welcome everyone to our weekly COVID-19 and Health and Human Services update. I'm Troy, the HHS director, and part of the folks we have on today, we have Rebecca, who is our public health nurse, Ladon Yazi, who is our tribal public health educator, and Victoria Martinez, who is our Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities coordinator. The rest of the team is not available today. They're either in training or off. So this is going to be a pretty quick COVID update because there isn't much to report, which is very, very good news. But, we do have some updates to give around HHS and some of the activities that are coming up after that. So if you don't want to stay on to hear that after the COVID update, you can go ahead and disconnect, but we always like input. As a reminder, if you have questions, you can put your questions in the comment section and we will try our best to answer them as they come in. So, since February 28th, we have had 0 cases. So we are at day 12 consecutive days that we have not had any new COVID cases, which is always a good news, always good news. There is obviously evidence, even from the state's numbers, that COVID is becoming less and less saturated in our communities. Santa Fe County is now showing as low transmission rate based on the CDC's new social distancing and guidance. Rio Arriba County is still showing as low transmission rate, and I think the only county that's around us that's still showing moderate transmission rate is the county of Los Alamos. So Los Alamos is still moderate. Santa Fe County is low, and the Rio Arriba County is showing low. Now, why that makes sense and why that matters is the CDC's guidance around masks in public places, the restrictions that have been in place since the beginning of the pandemic. They are being relaxed. Of course, this is just outside the Pueblo because the Pueblo's executive order still requires masking in public places, but according to the CDC's guidance, masks are not required in public places, but they still recommend it, for those who are immunocompromised or those who are vulnerable to serious illness from the virus. So I just wanted to make sure that was communicated. And, we are currently at a total of 216 cases the community has experienced since the beginning of the pandemic, with 214 recoveries. And that is basically all we have on the numbers. Does anybody else on the team have any information they want to add to that?
Can you hear me now?
Your volume is still not working.
Huh, okay.
I can hear you, Rebecca.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to actually add, I was listening to Dr. Michael Osterholm.
Because we don't hear anything you're saying.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, Victoria says she can hear her.
Oh, you can hear her, Victoria? Oh, I can't hear her.
I can hear you,
What's going on
Troy.
our side? We can't hear her at all.
Claudia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, if you can hear her, can you hear her, Claudia?
Yes, I can.
You can? Okay. So I guess it's just us that can't hear you. I'm wondering if the community can hear you. But go ahead. You can say what you need to say. If they can hear you, then probably it's just our connection here.
Okay, so I did want to say that I listened to the Dr. Michael Osterholm COVID-19 update, and he does a weekly podcast from CIDRAP, which is the Center for Infectious Disease and Research Center in Minnesota. And, he talked a lot about how the numbers are going down, and these are all really good things, but we do need to focus on getting our vaccinations, getting so-called boosters. We still want to maintain our vaccinations, getting so-called boosters. We want to keep getting those and make sure that we are up to date as much as we can be. One of the points that he made, and the reason why I said so-called boosters, is only because they really are just an additional dose or a third dose. And it would appear that that is the most beneficial level to be at with vaccinations, is to get those additional doses that when we're eligible to get them. We want to continue in the vein of protecting each other and protecting ourselves. We want to continue in this effort to work to eventually, hopefully, eradicate COVID-19. That we don't know what the future holds for us. So it's really important that everyone get out there, get your vaccines. If you haven't gotten your second or third, make sure you get those in a timely fashion, because we still need to stay vigilant. We still need to keep our eyes open, keep our ears open, and keep abreast with current events with this virus, because it is so dangerous. And we really we want to keep getting better. We want to keep moving forward and able to start opening up more. So it's important we all take part in that, and so that we can enjoy life again. So I just wanted to put that forward that scientists are definitely, we're not 100% out of the woods, and we still want to see everyone get their vaccines and stay healthy.
Yeah, that's it's important information. I think that what they're saying now is, the more likely scenario is that COVID is going to be around in the foreseeable future. It's not going away. We're going to probably have to deal with it seasonally, just like the flu, where it's going to come back during the respiratory illness season, which is the fall and the winter. And so if you think about it, what we were seeing here in the office over here with our tests and our individuals that were coming in that were COVID positive, a lot of these individuals were vaccinated at the beginning of the vaccine rollout, and then exactly a year later, they were starting to show up here positive because they got their first primary series, which is the first shot and then that first booster, but they never got their actual the second booster, the one that we're trying to promote now. And so what happened was that the immunity that they did get from the vaccine started to wane, it started to reduce. So when the numbers started coming back in this past fall and winter, well, guess what? Those individuals, because they weren't as protected, this new variant came around and they contracted COVID again. So what they're showing is that the most effective way to prevent that from happening, is to get vaccinated, get that booster shot. And boosters are available for everyone through Pfizer, ages 12 and up. So if you have anybody in your family that had got their first two shots more than 6 months ago, or 6 or more months ago, the recommendation obviously is that you go get your booster to keep you and your family protected and to do what we can to stop the transmission. A lot of folks are talking about breakthrough cases. There's a lot of these breakthrough cases. People are vaccinated. Why get the vaccination if you're going to have a breakthrough? Well, the difference is those individuals who do have breakthrough cases, it's a combination of what their body is doing and the waning protection from the vaccine that allows their breakthrough case to come through. But what's most important is it keeps you from getting seriously ill or dying. The other thing it does is it reduces the viral load that you're carrying, which makes you a little less infectious from COVID if you were to contract it after being vaccinated. So getting the booster gets you that extra protection. And I think that's one thing that's important to recognize and understand. Of course, there's no mandate to get the booster. Nobody's telling you have to get the booster. Just understand that as we start working towards, reopening the Pueblo and reducing restrictions, the only thing that can create a problem and stop that from continuing forward is if we have a major outbreak. Vaccinations is one of the ways that we can stop that from happening. So, the governor and the tribal administration are working on a new executive order to try to get it to where the restrictions are going to be less and less in a phased approach. It's not going to just open the floodgates and say everybody just come in, because that's not wise. What it's going to do is going to be a slow and stepped process to make sure that opening the Pueblo is not going to expose the community to high, in contact with individuals who are infected with COVID. So, anybody have anything else?
I'd like to share a little bit. You can hear me all right? Okay, good. So, yeah, I'm always thinking about the nutritional aspect of taking care of yourself, looking out for yourself. And so one thing I came across a couple of weeks ago was boosting your immune system. And so one of the nutrients that is good for individuals in boosting their immune system is vitamin C. And so vitamin C would help in an aspect of supporting you, with COVID still, in the community, in the state, in the nation. We want to make sure that we're eating those vegetables, the fruits, and making sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And that's something we're going to talk about over and over again. So we have an event coming up. And so I just wanted to share that information. There's not supplements that you could take that would increase your immune system. The only one that would help is vitamin C. You can get it in through your food, the foods that you eat, fruits and vegetables, and then you can get them through supplemental, and just taking supplements to boost that immunity. And so that really helps. That could help down the road fight different viruses, not just COVID, but that's something I came across and I wanted to share.
Thanks, LaDawn. Thomas, the criteria I think has probably begun to be met already. The governor has kind of been monitoring the cases and the community's most recent decrease in infection rate in the community, and there has been discussion already that that's exactly what there's the administration is working towards, and that's basically having a phased reopening as a result of where we are as a pueblo as well as where we are as a state. The numbers in the state are steadily decreasing. I think that the death rate from COVID is still quite high in the state in comparison to where I think the public health folks would like it to be. But again, those deaths are coming from the spike that we had before. This is like the residual for when we were having the higher number of cases. Those individuals who were hospitalized are the ones that are heading towards poor outcomes, and some of them are passing away, unfortunately. But I think that we're watching not just the state numbers, but we're also watching surrounding pueblos, because some of those communities are opening. Also, around the 12th and the 14th of the month, they've been at 0 cases for a little longer than we have, and they're working on reopening. So like the phased reopening is monitoring not just what happens as people start to come into the community more, see if we have any more increases in cases, but also what the other pueblos are experiencing in the area, because what they have experienced in the past has kind of showed its ugly head here in the community. So when there's outbreaks in the communities around us, we tend to have them here as well because of the the connectivities that we have with the other communities. So I think watching those numbers, whether we have any kind of outbreaks or increases, or if we do have a couple of cases, is it just a couple of cases or is it double-digit cases? So the governor's still evaluating this part, and we're still in discussion trying to figure out how best to do that. But that criteria is basically looking at the numbers and how they tend to react to any opening, whether it's ours or our neighboring pueblos. So I don't know if that answers the question exactly, because there really isn't a complete answer for it. It's just that the governor is evaluating. That's all we can say, and the cases are going to determine whether we open or not. Anybody else have anything? So I wanted to piggyback on what LaDawn was saying about ways to boost your immune system and to create your body's natural protection from COVID. And in addition to nutrition, exercise and physical activity is one of the things that is going to get us to the point where we are boosting the ability to fight off infection, not just from COVID, but from the flu and from any other virus or bacteria or pathogen that we might come across. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we in Health and Human Services have been working diligently to try to provide options for the community to have access to physical activity that is not going to, one, break the bank. People's pockets are not full these days, especially with gas. Who can afford to have a gym membership, right? It's probably not that easy to have a gym membership. So we have begun to have the process started to start up our fitness program. And a fitness program is basically a process that the diabetes program will has a specific number of slots at some of the local gyms that we will be able to allow community members to have access to gym memberships, where we pay a maximum of a certain amount. I mean, it hasn't necessarily been completely agreed upon, but based on the memberships that the Milwaukee Wellness Center and the Anytime Fitness is, that's not the right way to say that, the Anytime Fitness centers in the area, I think that we'll be able to fund a 12-month membership for each community member that enrolls in the program. So the delay, and we've been talking about this, so the delay has been trying to get signed contracts from different gyms. We have a signed contract from the Anytime Fitness in Espanola. We have a signed contract from the Anytime Fitness in Los Alamos. However, there's one document they need to provide to us so that we can actually start getting people enrolled. So right now, at Milwaukee Wellness, we still haven't gotten any response from them regarding their contract, but we're working on getting that built up. But we will probably be announcing next week the opening of the application process for individuals who qualify for getting a gym membership. And I just wanted to let everybody know that the people who are enrolled in the diabetes program get first dibs for the memberships. And so there's a target population that we serve regularly through the diabetes program that are going to have first priority for memberships. But that is for the treatment side. But we also have a prevention side of the program where we have gym memberships for individuals in the community who can get memberships to prevent the development or the advancement of diabetes or prediabetes. So there are going to be options from that perspective. So as part of that, when Victoria came on, we actually had conversations and we came up with a process to try to get the community more involved in physical activity. And one of the things that she and I talked about is that as personal trainers, I'm certified as a trainer, and Victoria has been as well. And we were going to offer fitness assessments to the community, basically to determine what your fitness level is as you prepare to become active again. It's a few things that we're going to assess. Your aerobic capacity, your flexibility, a few other things that we're going to be doing, body fat percentages and weight and things like that, to try to see where you are before as we are going to 30 months of this pandemic. A lot of us have been sitting around doing nothing, not exercising, not being active, and just going back into activity is probably not the best thing, because there's a possibility of being injured or something happening where you're not prepared to to fully participate in physical activity. Once that goes out, the advertisement goes out about that. I think that went out before, didn't it, Victoria? In this month's bulletin, that option is available. If you want to talk a little bit more about what your thoughts are around it,
Um,
put you on the spot.
can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yes, it did go out
Put you on the spot.
in the
Yes.
recent bulletin that I was offering, or that we're offering, the upcoming fitness assessments, and they'll be done quarterly. Like Troy had mentioned, it's going to be height, weight, blood pressure, BMI, girth measurements, body composition, 3-minute aerobic step test, and also flexibility. Let's see, it's just gonna help us get started, and hopefully we'll fall into a daily routine of taking our time and getting outside, getting exercise. I know, all of us have been sitting around, and, just we need to get that movement back in us. And I think this will help us. And like I said, we're gonna do it quarterly. So every 3 months, we'll do the assessments and see how our progress comes along. I know changes aren't gonna happen overnight, but I think with participation and patience, this will give us a chance to motivate each other. And we're always looking at different ideas to do our physical fitness. I want to get back out on the trails that have been done, and hopefully get the rest done for the future. Let's see what else. The March challenge, walking challenge, that's also been a start. If you haven't started, you can there's still chance to get started on that. There are some pedometers that I do have, so if you're looking for one, I can give you one. And let's see what else. I think that is it.
I want to add to Victoria's comments. I just wanted to remind the community that we're still having the walking program on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the baseball and softball fields. It starts at 2:00 in the afternoon, and come out and join us. It's refreshing. You feel good after walking. Thank you.
Yeah, those are definitely things that I think the community definitely needs to kind of. We as a COVID team, for example, we're actually transitioning from the whole concept of COVID response, and we're transitioning to COVID recovery, because that's what we need to start looking at. Recovery, the community recovering from this last 2 years of difficult challenges and lack of activity and things like that. Keep your eyes and ears out from either our weekly update or the bulletin for activities and things that we're going to have scheduled. We're trying to start planning our next health fair and other activities that are going to try to focus on getting the community back up and running to where it was, at least the closest it can be to where it was pre-pandemic. Because we can no longer just sit around and do nothing. We actually have to start working on, getting the community healthy again. And with that being said, I was in conversation with Governor earlier, and he wanted me to make sure that the community is aware that the Pueblo does have and has been, there is funds available for the community to build a wellness center. So this is something that I think has been asked for, and the members of the community have wanted us to have our own wellness center in the past. And now it's going to become reality because there is now funding for it. And so what the governor wanted was to make sure that the community knows that it's not going to be the administration that is going to be the only voice for this wellness center, this process. We want to get community input on where we want to put it, the location, how it's designed. We already have agreements with contractors that can actually assist us with the design. So we want the community to have as much input as possible, because this is your wellness center. This is your opportunity to take the money that's available and make the best for it. What do you all think you would most benefit from in a wellness center? Now, the wellness center is not just going to be gym and exercise equipment and things like that. We're talking about, other things that are going to help us with everything from physical, emotional, spiritual, all the different components of wellness that you can think of. We want to try to incorporate that into the development of this wellness center. So keep your ears out. Once the announcement goes out that we're going to ask for public input, I think what will probably happen is there'll probably be a public meeting to discuss what input that folks have on that. So just wanted to let the community know that it's not just us trying to pawn off funding on the gyms outside of the community. We want to have our own. We want to make sure we have something that the community can benefit from for long term. So that's I just wanted to put that out there as well, because it's important. So anybody have any questions or additional comments? Anybody have any questions?
I could add to that information there. So this month we're doing our best to provide nutrition education, to really try to get the community involved in taking care of themselves, really being self-sufficient in being healthy, in taking that option to make good choices, whether it's for food, whether it's for their health, whether it's for their mind, their body, their spirit. But we want to let everyone know that because of National Nutrition Month, we want to celebrate, and we want to be able to provide nutrition education and lunch. And so this education information session will talk a lot about nutrients and minerals and building better meals for ourselves. So this event will take place at El Rancho. It will be at 11 o'clock. It'll start at 11 o'clock on March 17th. So that's a Thursday. So we want everyone to come out and join us. After we kind of have a little bit of have this information session, we're going to go to the baseball field, and we're going to have our community walk for wellness at 2 p.m. So that's something I wanted to share.
Thank you, Ladonna. Was it National Nutrition Month? Is that what you called it? I'm always just asking that. What is it? What is it? What is the name of it again? Okay, yes, National Nutrition Month. And the activity or the event will be at the El Rancho Center, as was mentioned. And we encourage everybody who is interested. Please reach out if you have questions. Raylene is the primary contact for that. So you can contact her, and she can give you more information about this. But I think it's going to be something that's going to be fun. Time to get together and enjoy some food and get some good education. So I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything?
I have one thing to add to that. And if you, like Troy said, if you could reach out to Rating or us here at the Health and Human Services, we want to make sure we want to do our best to get our head count so that way we have an idea of who's gonna join us and just what to expect. That would be really helpful.
Yeah, especially as we move forward, we don't know what the restrictions are going to be for COVID at that time. So understanding how many people are showing up is important so that we can prepare. We can properly prepare for it. It's a tongue twister almost. We look forward to seeing you all, and also at the softball fields to get a little bit of exercise after the fact. That'll be fun. Anybody have anything else?
I do.
Victoria?
Yeah. Could I also add in that
Anything else?
if anybody is interested, committed, and dedicated to being a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor, there's a training that's going to be going on at Nambe Pueblo Wellness Center. And there's 2 to 3 spots that are open, but we need really dedicated people that will be committed to do this. And we would need your name in by tomorrow. 10 o'clock is the deadline, or if we get them filled by today, that's awesome, but by tomorrow 10 o'clock for sure. So just if you're interested. And also this will be a plus on our side for Sinai to have more personal trainers and group fitness instructors. So that's it.
And why that's important is that when we talk about the community providing for itself, and this is a way that we can do that, because I think in the past, sorry, I had an echo over here. I think in the past we've had to contract with folks on the outside and spend funds from our programs to hire people to come in and provide instruction and personal training for the community. And I think that's why not take people from within and provide that opportunity for members of the community. So if you have an interest in fitness, but also have an interest in sharing your knowledge and providing instruction for those people who need more guidance, this is a great opportunity, because it's not something that's going to have to come out of your pocket to pay for, because personal trainer certifications are expensive. And so if you think that you would be a good candidate for us, and of course, if we connect you, you're going to have to commit to providing us helping us with some of the activities that we engage in. But I don't think that's a negative thing. We're not going to say you have to be on the schedule 24/7. I know that none of us are on that except for the COVID team, but have to be on a schedule to have to provide classes or personal training all the time. But at least we have members of the community that will be available to assist us as necessary when we do our fitness assessments, when we do our classes that we're going to be doing soon, when the wellness center opens up and we would like to host some activities. Having more personal trainers is a good idea, and being able to call upon members of the community to do that is a great opportunity. And this is a great opportunity, and I appreciate Victoria for getting this opportunity for the community. And so if you want to take advantage of it, if you're a person that's dedicated to helping others, and those 2 to 3 spots are going to go fast, I'm assuming. So if you can reach out to Victoria or any of us over here at Health and Human Services, we can probably direct you to Victoria if you don't know how to get a hold of her, or you could just go visit her at the senior center. in her office and give her your information, because she does need to give that information to Nambe Pueblo by tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So we may already have one person that's volunteered, so you might have lost one opportunity. So anybody else that's interested, contact Victoria today.
Victoria, I have a question. How long is the course, or?
Anyone else?
Right now, the trainings are scheduled for 3 weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Let's see. I have the times and dates. They vary. I'm gonna put it. Let's see. April 2nd is from 12, but to either 6 or 7 in the evening. And the 3rd will be from 8 to 4. April 9th will be also from 12 to 6 or 7. The 10th will be 8 to 4. April 23rd and 24th will be 8 to 5.
Okay, thank you. I was just wondering, in case the community is interested, at least they have an idea how long, what the training's about. Thank you.
You're welcome. And also to mention, your certification will be good for 2 years.
Sorry, I was trying to prevent having some feedback there. And getting this certification also provides an opportunity for you to make money. Once you're certified, there are locations in the area that are in need of personal trainers as well. In addition to providing a service for your community, you can get a job to help pay for your gas in your car. Sorry, I didn't mean to make a joke, but gas is expensive right now. So, just kind of wanted to joke about that, but that's a serious thing. Like therapists and counselors and other people who are out there to help people. There are places in the community that are having a difficult time finding qualified candidates to fill these positions. So I think it's important to at least think about that as an option too, maybe as a income, a way to boost your income. So that is an option as well. So I'm trying to post this for you, Victoria, the times and dates that you sent me, so people can be aware what they are.
Can I ask?
Of course, this conversation is not, everybody can just jump in if you need to.
So I'm curious, what if we're not able to, like somebody's not able to make those, like maybe one weekend? What happens? I guess.
Well, the unfortunate reality is that to get a certification, you have to attend all of the time. You have to complete the entire training, because you can't get certified without completing it all. So that's probably going to be a problem if you can't make the entire thing.
I think that's a good opportunity to try something new. Good idea.
And to think about it as well, you're not just getting certified to help others. You're getting a lot of education. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, about the human body, about nutrition, about all kinds of wellness topics. All of those things that you probably have some deficiencies in, maybe even knowing how to work out exactly at the gym. You're going to learn a lot in these certifications. I think I've been doing that since 1998 was my first certification class, and between then and now, I mean, I've learned so much about, exercise and fitness, nutrition, and wellness. And now they actually have components of like life coaching in these certifications as well. So you're going to learn a lot. So again, we're not trying to shove it down your throat and make you do it, but it's just something to put out there to say that this is a good opportunity. So. All right, Rebecca, Claudia, Victoria, Adon, anyone have any final updates or words or motivational quotes?
Go out and get the rest of your vaccines if you haven't already. Get your second dose, get your third dose. Go ahead and get out there and do that so we can all protect each other and hopefully see something that resembles the end of this viral mess.
I echo that. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you all who decided to tune in and watch us today, and those who have asked questions. Stay tuned for next week. March 17th, it'll be our next date that we're going to provide an update at 11 o'clock. It'll be the same day as our nutrition event. So it's going to be a little tight trying to get everything done at the same time, because we'll have our update here through our StreamYard app that's going to stream to YouTube and Facebook. But we are also going to have the presentation stream through Zoom that will also Zoom to Facebook. So there's going to be a little bit of an overlap, but just keep your eyes and ears out. You'll see the event information on Facebook, and it'll be a day of information sharing for the HHS department, and hopefully good information for the community. So thank you all, appreciate it, and we will see you next week.